Welcome to Terror in Tandem, a podcast about finding entertainment in the macabre. Hosted by the knowledgeable and lovable Laura and Richard Mathiasen. Each episode we discuss the horror genre, from books to film to TV and beyond. Sometimes even from the beyond. You can find us on YouTube at Terror in Tandem, on Instagram at Terror in Tandem, and you can always find our latest episode on our website. That's right, terrorintandem.com. Honestly, just mash Terror in Tandem into your keyboard in a fit of feverish fan frenzy.
Wow, that was a lot of F's.
Triple alliteration. And you'll find us. Just Google Terror in Tandem and you'll find a way to listen.
Apparently our beloved co-host Richard is dropping F-bombs.
Ready to go. Yeah, that's right. Dropping F-bombs. That's so unlike me. A New York Italian-American who curses? That's very, very weird.
Allegedly.
No, I took the 23andMe. I am Italian. I know that much. But there were other
surprises. Yeah. But that's for a different horror episode.
What a wonderful invention. Anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. You've got a secret family. So, what do you, beloved co-host, and not that this is important, but quite a looker.
Oh, thank you.
What do you want to do today?
I mean, we're going to talk about February recommendations, the month of love.
I think that's the perfect. Is it the month of love?
February.
Because of Valentine's Day?
I mean, and Groundhog's Day.
The sexiest day of the year.
And it's a leap year, which you can have another day of love.
Why do we add an extra day to February? I understand it's the shortest month and it's got room to grow, but it's also the worst.
I don't know.
Like, add an extra day to June. June's a lovely month.
Or May.
Yeah.
May 32nd.
Ah.
I'll see you then.
May 32nd sounds like a great day.
May 32nd sounds like the day that things go terribly wrong.
No, February 29th, it sounds like a day where you're like, is it still fucking February? Ugh.
Yeah, but those people that were born on February 29th.
They should be snapped out of existence by Thanos.
They age so slowly.
I know. That's pretty cool that you age at quarter time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, we're not going to keep you long today because we're going to just jump right in to our recommendations.
What's coming out in February that's got us excited? Now, February is traditionally kind of a dumpster month where, not a lot of exciting stuff comes out. But we managed to dig up some gems, I think.
Yeah, I think there's some exciting things to come out. Maybe you're just talking about films.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's a book on my list that I am quite looking forward to.
Well, why don't you start us off?
Oh, my gosh. That's a great idea. I love it so much. So my first recommendation, as I mentioned, is a book because not that I'm insecure about this or anything.
My first recommendation is a book, too.
But I also read. It is, of course, T. Kingfisher's What Feasts at Night. And again, to T. Kingfisher, another great title.
She really has some great titles.
The Twisted Ones, The Hollow Places, What Moves the Dead. She's got great titles. Anyway, What Feasts at Night, speaking of What Moves the Dead.
What's in my toilet?
This is the follow-up. So What Moves the Dead... Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, I bulldozed right over your poop joke. What Moves the Dead was the story of Alex Easton, who was and it was sort of a retelling of the fall of the House of Usher. As a retired soldier, went to check on their friend Madeline Usher, and I'm not giving it away. Anyway, this is the continuing adventures of Alex Easton. So just a little bit of the synopsis of the book. It comes out February 13th from Tor, Nightfire. Tor. Oh, Tor. You have been keeping me in the geeky paradise since I was a teenager, reading Brian Lumley and just, whatever weird mass market gory fiction you were putting out at the time. I love Tor. Anyway, sorry, Tor. So retired soldier Alex Easton returns after their terrifying ordeal at the Usher Manor. So they find themselves heading to their family hunting lodge deep in the cold, damp forests of their home country, Galacia. It's a made-up country, but it sort of takes place in an, sort of a side universe reality kind of thing. But if you want peaceful rest and relaxation, why not go into the cold, damp forest?
That sounds nice to me.
Anyway, the villagers of the forest have a tale that there is a breath-stealing monster that's taken up residence in Alex's, probably, old home. Alex is not a superstitious person, despite their experience at the Usher Manor, but they can tell that something's not quite right, and they start having horrible dreams. Oh. So you'll notice I'm using they. It's because Alex Easton is a non-binary character. And that's just the pronoun they use. That's all. No need to make a big deal out of it. So I'm really looking forward to this because T. Kingfisher, it's threads the needle so beautifully of genuinely scary dark fantasy / horror with this very casual, humorous style. And I don't mean humorous as in the it's all funny. It's just her characters are very witty. They're really millennial. They, quick-witted, kind of sardonic. She's got a very breezy way of characterization, and I mean that in a really good way. Breezy is not the right word. Perhaps accessible. You find yourself
relatable.
I find myself instantly drawn to her characters because they are so easy to understand, get along with, and relate to.
Yeah.
They are very honest and very flawed. She writes protagonists with a lot of baggage.
Sounds like real people.
Exactly. So T. Kingfisher is a delight. Every book she writes is worth a read. And What Moves the Dead was especially a good one because of its Edgar Allan Poe connection. Listeners of this pod might have heard our now classic, legendary first installment of our Edgar Allan Poe deep
so when
dive.
we get to Edgar Allan Poe adaptions, maybe this will make one or both of our lists.
Oh, I have a feeling The Fall of the House of Usher will come up. But What Feasts at Night, coming out February 13th. Like all T. Kingfisher books, I recommend it. And it's probably going to be a lot of fun. Her books, you can finish them in a week,
Yeah.
And that, again, that's a compliment. They are breezy, fun, but not shallow. They're very good. I mean, she's kind of a miracle. She mashes styles together that should not work well together, but I think with her unique voice, she's able to do so. So I can't wait.
Awesome.
What Feasts at Night?
So my first recommendation is also a book. It comes out February 1st, so kicking the month off. It's called The Bad Weather Friend by Dean Koontz.
What? No way. Dean Koontz?
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Oh, I used to read everything by him.
Yeah, I mean, he's still an active writer. He's still very much plugging away. And this one sounds really, really great for me specifically.
How many books has he written?
A lot. He's 100? Like a Stephen King.
He's crazy prolific.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, dozens and dozens of books.
Yeah.
So this book, The Bad Weather Friend, Koontz often writes about strangers who come together for reasons they can't explain to confront forces they don't understand. So in this book, this deals with Benny, a young man who suspects he's being persecuted after a series of unfortunate events turns his life upside down. He receives a mysterious package that's shaped like a coffin and contains a craggle.
A what? A Fraggle?
A craggle.
Oh. Not a Fraggles are different.
So he finds out that the mysterious entity that's been targeting him has a name. It's called the Better Kind. And it's a confederacy of society's richest and most powerful people, and they are determined to ruin his life.
Did you say a confederacy?
I did.
You see, that's a word that just never means anything good.
So the extent of the Better Kind's efforts become clear throughout the novel and in the novel's subplot, and a series of flashbacks that chronicle Benny's endless string of bad luck. And then Spike comes into his life. So he's the Craggle. Spike is a 7-foot tall ball of muscle. If a fair weather friend is somebody who comes around when things are good, a bad weather friend is someone you can depend on when things are terrible.
Oh, I like that.
So Spike is more than Benny's bodyguard. He has a host of special abilities that go into the supernatural realm.
I mean, this is like reading my teenage diary of like wishing I had a 7-foot magical muscle bodyguard.
Yeah, so this entity, this society comes to like take down his life. He's like this, I don't know, sort of like regular real estate agent guy.
Yeah.
And he's had terrible luck, mostly because of this group. And he gets a Craggle in the mail. And this Craggle named Spike is going to take care of business for him.
Listen, kids, save up your cereal box barcodes and you too can mail in for your own Craggle.
If you've listened to this podcast for a while, I mean, I've never recommended a Dean Koontz book before. It's not that I wouldn't.
No.
But honestly, this one just sounded so great.
It does. And, you know,
I like the concept of it.
Can I jump in for a second?
You need permission?
I know.
Since when?
I'm trying a new thing.
Can I jump in by jumping in before you get to answer if I can jump in?
Trying to do better. So, and failing. But I used to devour everything by Dean Koontz because he, alongside with Stephen King, you know, in my early forays, he was so prolific and he was so dependable. And I stopped reading him because he kind of transitioned quite successfully, honestly, into thrillers away from more supernatural horror.
Which I like.
He wrote some fantastic thrillers, but it's less my thing. The last thing I read by him was Odd Thomas, which I highly recommend. It's actually, it's got elements of horror, but it's really just a very touching and beautiful book. And it was made into a very underrated, entertaining movie with the unfortunately late, what was his name? Anton Yelchin, who plays the titular Odd Thomas. It's a good movie, but I really recommend the book. This seems like a return to the supernatural. I'm gonna maybe read my first Dean Koontz in a while.
Maybe we both will.
But as an aside, my personal favorite of his, Servants of the Twilight. Fucking great book. Sorry.
So The Bad Weather Friend, February 1st.
That sounds awesome. And I want a bad weather friend.
Oh, I think you have plenty.
I do?
I don't know.
I mean, the weather's pretty bad.
Oh, you definitely need one, is I guess what I meant.
That is what I'm just trying. So my next one, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it looks, well, if anything, it looks unique. So it is a film coming from the UK and debuting in the US February 9th. It is director Andrew Cummings' feature debut, Out of Darkness. Now, Out of Darkness is a Stone Age Paleolithic horror tale set 45,000 years ago. Stars Chukwumodu and Safia Oakley Green. Now, Chukwumodu plays the alpha of this, cave tribe of early Homo sapiens, and they are looking for what every cave person is looking for, a way to not die. And they start getting hunted by something in the darkness. So I love the setting. It is, it was all shot in Scotland during the lockdown. So cinematography and the atmosphere looks gorgeous. I mean, it's all just foggy moors and mountains and hills and stuff.
Fields and fountains.
Yeah, and locks, So it this tribe is a small tribe of, I think, only 6 people, is, facing the horrors of the Paleolithic era, which everything was horrifying back then. Actually, everything is horrifying now. But I'm looking forward to this. It's kind of ambiguous in the trailer what's stalking them. It could be a monster movie. It could be a slasher. I'm not really sure, but the setting is really cool. And another interesting thing about this, they invented an entire language for the film. And the whole film is in this language called Tola, which is heavily based on the real-life language of Basque, spoken in primarily in parts of Spain and some parts of France. Now, Basque is unique in Europe because it is the only surviving Paleolithic language still, surviving. So it's the oldest European language still in use. It's spoken by, I think, at least 1 million people.
Wow.
There's been a lot of controversy over the years in the region of the Basque region of Spain over autonomy and whatnot, but this language is fascinating. I love the idea of, just the effort put into making, your own language for a film. That's something. So the trailer's pretty good. It looks very atmospheric. And I can't think of too many other Stone Age horror movies coming out in February, so I guarantee this one's unique.
Absolutely.
Out of Darkness, coming February 9th in theaters, and I'm jazzed about this. I think we're seeing sort of a resurgence these days in period set horror, and I am all for it.
Excellent. Yeah. I will enjoy hearing about when you check that out. Want to take a break?
I do. Nothing beats a warm bowl of soup for those days when you're not quite feeling yourself, am I right? Well, the demons wearing your body like a rotting meat suit may be legion, but there's only one thing they're craving on an excellent day for an exorcism. Why not treat yourself, and everyone inside you, to Reagan's Home-Style Pea Soup? Every serving of Reagan's Home-Style Pea Soup contains all the nutrients both your body and the archlords of hell inhabiting it need to survive another night chained to your bed. Holy water burning your skin? Well, not only is every bowl of Reagan's Home-Style Pea Soup delicious and filling, but it's also a salve for divine burns on your corrupted flesh. Rub a little pea soup on it, my dad used to say. And my dad was the devil, so he would know. Reagan's Home-Style Pea Soup is designed to be absorbed quickly, so don't worry about artillery barfing all over those mean old priests. Your hideous human flesh will still feel satisfied, no matter how much of it ends up on your mom and that priest you might have, but definitely did just kill with your mind. Reagan's Home-Style Pea Soup. Just like your mother used to make before she sucked in hell. This is a fake ad for a fake product on a horror-themed podcast. We do not condone nor endorse becoming possessed by demons and murdering exorcists, no matter what your mother does in hell. And we're back.
Welcome back, everyone.
Oh, so welcome.
I'm going to jump right into my next recommendation, which is a movie.
And I wanted this one.
Lisa Frankenstein, coming out February 9th. So... for those of you that have been listening, we particularly like horror comedies, and I just want to shout out to Renfield. We did recommend that, I believe, last February, maybe even.
Last year, definitely.
And we just finally,
we got a backlog.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a backlog.
Yeah, we do other things, people.
We finally got to it, and boy, did it deliver.
I thought it was really fun.
It was, listen, don't
It's
take
dumb.
it seriously.
It's really dumb.
As most Nicolas Cage movies shouldn't be taken seriously.
Unless we're talking Pig, which is a masterpiece.
So anyway, it was a delight. And
I thought it was
silly
great.
and
Yeah.
ridiculous, which leads me
So
to...
gory,
Yeah.
too. Like, really gory.
Which leads me to Lisa Frankenstein, which is going to be probably pretty similar. Think Edward Scissorhands meets like a zombie love story, with all the teen angst that high school can offer.
Yeah, it's got kind of a warm. If anybody, speaking of Nicholas Hoult,
Warm
if you've
Bodies.
seen Warm Bodies, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a horror comedy. The film, it takes place in 1989. So the music and the fashion and the montages
Jesus.
are going to be amazing.
It's a time I remember quite well.
The screenplay was written by Academy Award-winning Diablo Cody.
Hell yes, and horror veteran of the criminally underrated, recently reevaluated Jennifer's Body.
Yeah, Jennifer's Body, Juno.
Yeah.
That's what she won the award for.
No, yeah, but Jennifer's Body is an interesting piece because it bombed when it came out, Karen Kusuma's film, but over the years it's gotten another look and people are like,
but we did talk about it in feminist horror.
Yeah.
So I believe that this will probably likely fit into a feminist
in the
horror
trailer
type again.
What's really interesting in the trailer to Lisa Frankenstein, Jennifer's Body almost killed Diablo Cody's career, and in the trailer to Lisa Frankenstein, it's the first movie they reference.
Yeah.
They're like, from the writer of Jennifer's Body.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And she also did the one with Charlize Theron, where she goes back to like her hometown.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name off the top of the head. So this film is about Lisa Swallows. Great name. I mean, she must get teased relentlessly in school. Played by Catherine Newton, who is a fan favorite of ours.
Whiz bang every time.
Big Little Lies, Freaky. She plays an outcast and a wannabe teenage goth, who literally brings a young, once handsome Victorian corpse back to life. Who's played by Cole Sprouse from Riverdale and
Jughead.
I mean, he has a lot of work.
He looks great.
Yeah, he does. He looks. I'm like, is he going to speak at all in this movie?
He
It's
very
hilarious.
well might not have any lines in this movie.
Yeah. It's the romantic duo begin a playful and horrifying pursuit of true love and finding better and missing body parts for the Cole Sprouse character.
He's like modular.
Trying to make him the best man. She's like building a better man.
He's like a Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The film also stars Carla Gugino,
Yeah.
as Lisa Swallow's mom.
Ones
so
that
Mrs. Swallows.
Another TNT fave.
Yeah, so we're
Carla,
going to love it. It's
love
going to
you.
be silly. Don't take it too seriously.
It looks hilarious.
Lisa Frankenstein coming out February 9th.
Want to
Perfect
mention
timing for Valentine's Day.
this is the directorial debut of the late Robin Williams' daughter, Zelda Williams.
Excellent.
So really looking forward to the possibility of a burgeoning new talent
Yeah.
in the field. But yeah, I really wanted to do this one.
It's going to be really poppy and
It's not
colorful.
on my list, but it is the thing I'm most looking forward to this month.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see this.
Well, my final recommendation is a movie, and I'm going to level with y'all. We'll see. So it is.
Recommendation with asterisk.
Yes, like February is a slow month. This is coming out, and I'm recommending it primarily because the cast is pretty damn good, and the premise has potential. So this is Baghead. Now, not to be confused with the Duplass film from the mid-aughts or late aughts. Baghead is directed by Alberto Corredor. Anyway, sorry. Coming out February 8th in theaters. It's already been released in the UK. It's coming from the UK. Now, Freya Allan from The Witcher and Peter Mullen are both in it, so that's a pretty cool cast. Now, Freya Allan plays a young woman who inherits a pub that happens to have a 400-year-old witch chained in the basement. Now,
Does she know it?
She does. She figures it out. Well, she doesn't know when
she doesn't buy it with knowing that?
Based on the trailer, it looks like... No, she inherits it. Based on the trailer, it looks like Peter Mullen is already dead, and he's left her a video of like, hey, so now that you have this pub, there's a witch in the basement.
I need to tell you. You got to keep her chained up.
The thing is, this has a very talk to me vibe to it because this witch can communicate with the dead. And the reason she's been chained up there is the villagers have been coming for generations to, like
talk to their loved ones.
yeah, ask questions and shit. But she can't ever be released, and there are a bunch of rules you can't break. So,
Awesome. So those rules are definitely going to be broken.
listen, you put rules in a horror movie, and it's like it's Chekhov's gun. So now she Freya Allen, she starts a side hustle of charging people to ask this witch questions and shit. What could go wrong? This grief-obsessed man, played by Jeremy Irving, I think, shows up and demanding to talk to the witch, and that's where things start to go wrong. So it looks like the rules get broken, the witch gets loose, and mayhem ensues. Now, it did come out in the UK, and it's been getting kind of middling reviews. I would say that this looks like the kind of movie that if you got a slow day and you're all caught up and you don't really want to invest too much, sure, pop on Baghead. I don't mean to not give like a full-throated endorsement of the movie. I hope for the best. It's just I watched the trailer and I just couldn't get it out of my head that it looks like a lesser Talk to Me. Like, oh, I've seen this done better elsewhere.
Yeah.
But again, hoping for the best, great cast, and it is a pretty cool premise. I like the idea of, in this culture of ours where we're, especially my generation, it's been indoctrinated to think that every second of our free time should be spent in a quote-unquote side hustle, making more money when the money we make isn't enough in the first place. I like that this is being explored through the lens of desperation, of like, I need money so badly that I'm gonna fuck with this ancient witch.
And also the people of the village needing to talk to their loved ones. I'm sure there's a lot of complicated conversations that happen, like,
and
who's my real father type of conversations.
I enjoy.
I think that could be interesting.
I enjoy moral quandaries like that because as someone who's lost people, I put myself in that and think, well, how far would I go? What parts of myself would I give up? What parts of my moral compass would I be willing to bend or sacrifice altogether to have a last moment or to whatever? It's an interesting concept and it's very relatable. I don't know. I'm unconvinced, hoping for the best.
Okay, my last one is similar. I'm not really looking forward to it.
Wow, we should have thought of a better way to end this.
No, it's okay.
Going out with a...
I know a lot of people are looking forward to it, so I wanted to make it a recommendation. And honestly, I will watch the first few episodes to see if it is going to take a different direction or not. So it's The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live.
Right.
February 25th on AMC is when it premieres. It's Rick Grimes, played by Andrew Lincoln, and Michonne, who is played by the stunningly gorgeous Denai Guerrera.
Oh, yeah. Okoye.
So those two are thrown into turmoil again, but they're apart and they're in search of each other. So this is a spin-off where we see what happened to Rick and Michonne separately as they deal with the fallout from the CRM, which is the Civic Republic Military, the military and police force in the Civic Republic, which was introduced in season 8 of The Walking Dead. And the CRM's military wing in this iteration is played by is starring Major General Beale, played by Terry O'Quinn, who I adore and love to see him on the small screen.
The OG stepfather.
And Rick was taken by the CRM in season 9. So I'm going to be honest here. I stopped watching the Walking Dead after season 3. I thought that...
Was that... So you and I stopped at the season with the governor. That was either season 3 or 4.
Yeah. I think I didn't even finish that season. I think that was season 4.
We stopped watching before Negan. I think Glenn was still alive.
Yeah. I mean, I did watch some snippets and some moments.
We've never watched any of the spinoffs.
Nope. But there's something about Rick and Michonne.
Yeah, Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera.
And what I think is the strength of this spin-off is that if they focus on Rick's need and Michonne's need to get back to one another and the things that they do in order to get together, and maybe even conflict or like issues that arise once they do reunite, like maybe the grass isn't greener. Maybe their reuniting isn't what they have fantasized it would be. If they focus on that, and as opposed to going off on millions of tangents and introducing several different bad people, bad leaders, and, you know, I don't need multiple storylines of
You're talking focus.
bad guys.
Yeah.
I want them to focus on these two just getting back together.
Well, Walking Dead's a bit of a victim of its own success because its appeal in the beginning was, wow, look at these awesome zombies and look at what they are allowed to get away with on TV. And it's been like 10 years and 50 shows of that. So
you're going
that's
to get
no
plenty
longer
of that. You're going to be, you know, Rick trying to escape from the CRM. That's my guess.
But like,
and Michonne having to battle through tons of zombies to get Rick out of the CRM.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that is going to be really good for all the people who like The Walking Dead and the zombie killings and all of that stuff. But I just really want it to be like, I mean, a love story.
yeah.
You know, through all of this. So we'll see. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm still recommending it. The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live.
Is now not to be confused with The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead, The Book of Carol, the one with Negan and Maggie that I can't remember the name of.
Yeah, they're like in New York. Or
Jesus
something.
Christ.
And then there's the Daryl.
Yeah, that's The Book of Carol, I think it's called.
Oh.
I don't know.
No, she does her own thing.
She's coming back. No.
Yes, she does her own thing. Daryl is in France.
Yeah, and
doing like a French thing.
I know,
with his
but
own.
she's coming back on the second season.
Oh, she's like a motorcycle
Who knows?
killer.
I don't know. I mean,
But no, not to be confused with those. So that's why I've never recommended any of those, and I'm just sort of recommending this one.
if you want a whole zombie universe, there's one.
Or you can watch Lisa Frankenstein and create your own zombie.
Honestly, that's what I'm going to be doing.
So check out any, all, or none. We don't care. We just want you to keep listening.
And subscribing and recommend us.
Yeah, 5 stars.
Why not?
Give us a review.
Yeah.
Only glowing.
I mean, takes a second.
Yeah.
And
just 5 stars it up.
to those of you that don't, expect a visit from some horrible demons that we summon.
Yeah, and because we have a Craggle.
We know it. Yeah, absolutely. And we know how to do it.
Bye, everyone.
Huh? Terror in Tandem is written, produced, and recorded by Laura and Richard Mathiasen, and edited and mixed by Richard Mathiasen. Our theme was written and performed by Carrie Denver, and all other music was written and performed by David Suspanic. All opinions expressed on this podcast are our own and should be taken as such. Thanks for listening, and please remember to give us a like, a review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. We're standing right behind you.